Hi, welcome to the podcast Ease into Clarity. I'm Dr. Divi, family doctor turned intuitive coach, and I'm here to help you. In this podcast, we will learn mental techniques, emotional techniques, and spiritual techniques to change daily problems. So maybe it's your husband, your boss, your coworker, your kids, they're driving you crazy. You can email me any of your questions and I will use all the techniques I've learned over the years and help you. Grab your hot chocolate and make sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon. Ciao. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast, Ease into Clarity, and thank you for being here. Today, we're going to be talking about a number of things, and I'm going to call today's topic our resistance to love. So if you think about it as a society and just look at, do a quick scan in the entire world, you're going to see a lot more fear, anger, the momentum of guilt or grief much faster than we see the momentum of love. Kind of crazy when you think about it. It's like we're addicted to trauma and drama more than we're addicted to love and peace. If you even think of the current, therapy model, again, I'm not knocking anything, I don't want you to hear that. The counseling therapy model is we need to fix what's wrong with you to make that person wrong for hurting you and you're right. So we're dividing the world up. So we're creating more trauma, more drama in that scenario. But what if underlying all of this is our resistance to love? What if the most important thing we can do in spiritual work is to open up to the idea that love is the main energy on the planet? What if the way we're going to heal the planet of all the crazy stuff that we're going through right now is for each of us to be more open to this idea of unconditional love? Unconditional love is an energy that runs the planet. Unconditional love is the truth of our being. Love is the vibration that goes underneath everything and is there all the time. And the only question we want to ask ourselves is, are we open to that love? Do we actually believe that the love is real? According to A Course in Miracles, they talk about how it's easier to go up to a stranger and say, I hate you, than it is to a stranger and say, I love you. Why is that? It's because the ego believes hate is strong, I'm strong, and love equals weak. It also says it's because as the ego has created fear and walls up and hate versus the energy that they call God or the universe or spirit created love. So when we dissolve into unconditional love, we're dissolving into something that we didn't create, but is the truth of who we are. And I believe that the only way to heal, the only way to find happiness, the only way to find calm in your mind is to be open that there's a door of unconditional love and unconditional peace that's available to you. But we have to be open to it. But there's a door, it's not a trap door, it's not scary. But when we open it, that is how we begin to heal. So the first part of today's class, or podcast, I should say, is really about being open to this idea that there is love. And I want you to pay attention to maybe this week, after you meditate or go to yoga and you're finding this place of peace and ease, how long you're going to hold it for before your mind goes, ah. You may know that I ran a yoga studio for about 10 years in Victoria. I taught yoga full time and I loved it. And I would teach yoga. And after the yoga class was done, people would be in this high vibration for a little while. Sometimes that little while was maybe 5 minutes until they walked in the bathroom and somebody took their towel. And they'd be full on into anger and hate. Or they were in that high vibration for 5 minutes until they came out and saw someone they didn't like. Then they turned into grief or anger or guilt. So the vibration of love is real. But I want you to be open to it actually takes work and our willingness to build that momentum. And it's a lot easier to build division and anger and grief and guilt than it is to build the energy of love. And I just want you to be open to that, because once we're open to this concept of unconditional love, then we can actually heal. I'm actually going to be doing a 3 or 4 part series here on how to heal using our thoughts and spiritual work. But part one is decreasing the resistance to love. So if you're not driving, go ahead and close your eyes and just begin to breathe. Take a long breath in and a slow breath out. Take a deep breath in and a fluid breath out. Feel your belly rise and fall with each breath. Take all of your focus inward. And just be here. What do you hear, sense, see, or perceive? The more you go into those deep belly breaths, are you finding space between the thoughts? The more you go into those deep belly breaths, are you having a glimmer of peace and quiet? Just be here for a few minutes with your breath. Noticing, if you will, if a part of you wants to spit out of here, or if it's like sinking into a beautiful chair that you don't want to get out of. What is the sensation you're experiencing? Is there a willingness to stay here? Are you open that this is a door to a massive amount of universal love that wants to enter and be who you are and be present with that? So I want you to take 5 or 6 slow, deep breaths here, really feeling the magnitude of the peace and the ease that's available. Just breathe. Now, between now and the next podcast, here's what I'm going to give you as homework. See if you can find this. See if you can find a bit of peace and ease and open up to the idea that there's an energy of unconditional love out there. Just open to that idea. But I would love you to practice this for a week or so before you introduce the next concept. Because unconditional love is available to all of us. We just need a mindset that's available. The next few podcasts I'm going to put out are all about learning how to heal. But step 1 is being open that unconditional love exists. So I'm sending you lots of love, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast and share it with all your friends, family, and enemies. Sending you lots of love. Bye from Dr. Divi. Thank you so much for joining me in this podcast, Ease into Clarity. It is such a joy, pleasure, and honor to be in your living room. What I would love is if you follow me on Instagram, DRDIVI, or go to my website, drdivi.com, or write a review. That would be even more amazing. Thank you. If you really enjoyed this podcast, feel free to share it with friends, family. Tell them to follow me, because I think the more of us that listen to the fact that each of us can start to shift. Each of us can shift mental things, emotional things, spiritual shift, to shift our daily reality. When more and more of us do it, we get a better planet. We get more love, we get more happiness, we get more joy. So I'd love it if you followed. I'd love it if you shared this, because it would be such a joy and an honor. And again, if you have a question, guess what? I'm here for you. So send me an email, easeintoclarity@gmail.com. And as they come in, I will answer them in podcasts that are subsequent, whether it be your boss, your relationship, your husband, whatever. That's what I'm here for. Because the more of us that learn really simple mental techniques, really simple spiritual techniques, we change the physical reality we live in. Pretty soon, we have more peace, more ease, more joy trickling across the whole world. Remember, there's a spiritual solution for every problem. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.